Let's go. Let's go. Back up a little something. Back up. Let's go.
Alright, in this session we're going to be talking about stenciling. There's a lot of talk about whether stenciling is true graffiti or not. The thing is that for some it is, for some that it isn't. We're going to be doing it as a graffiti style. I think it's really worthwhile, and to be honest, it's a lot of fun. So let's take care of that.
My position is recognized.
Alright, so stenciling. Welcome to what might be one of the harder parts of what you guys are doing. And the reason it's one of the harder parts is because it's a little more complex than just spraying or just writing. You really got to think about what you're doing. So first let's talk about the materials you'll be using. Exacto knife, obviously. Markers and pens, obviously again. Paper, of course. And cardboard or something to cut on because you don't want to cut up your furniture. Okay, so once again, why is this a little bit more difficult? Whatever you're cutting out is going to fall out, right? You want to cut it away so that when you spray over your paper, the spray goes through. And it's going to go through what you cut. Now, if you're doing something like a heart or a star, then that's easy. You know, you cut out the middle just falls away, and when you spray, you're done. But if you do something that has more lines to it, then it gets a little more complex because let's say you're doing the letter L, right? You do kind of like a loopy L. Well, as soon as you do a loopy L, whatever's inside that loop is going to fall right through. So what do you do about that? Well, what you do is as you loop things around, on each side of the first loop, you leave a little bit of paper there, and the reason you want to do that is so that those little bits of paper hold that middle place, that middle piece in place. Let me give you an example for something that I'm going to do for our project here. So I did this owl here. Now what you'll see is that if I just cut this whole shape of the owl, the whole middle piece is going to fall right through, and I'm going to have no owl at all. Instead, what I did is, on these areas, I left spaces, and the paper out here is connected to the paper in here, and that's going to hold this middle piece in place. I did it here, up at the top, and down at the bottom. Even these wing pieces in here, as I did those, I made sure to leave little bits and pieces here so that that paper holds all this piece together. These little V's that'll make up kind of like the feathers of the owl, those, no problem. I'll just cut those away and the paper around will hold that in place. And so you want to do stuff like that, always remembering that you want to really make sure that it holds all together. One way you can do that and just kind of test it out is as you're drawing, if you're not sure, you know, it's hard for you to visualize, take a marker, take a highlight or something, and start to color in those spaces that you'll cut out. If you find that as you're drawing, it's starting to look like, oh, you know what, I think this whole thing's going to fall apart, no problem. Back it up a little bit, take your pencil, and you know, just see where you can put those lines. You're going to need some help with that, no problem. That's what your teacher's for. Ask them to help you out with that, and listen, you'll do just fine. So try something simple, try something a little complex. Again, just have a great time at it. Alright, cool. Now that you've got your stencil, you're ready to move on to the next session. And that session is going to be really exciting. It's where we're really putting it all together. You're going to have a lot of fun.
Oh,